Hey guys, Ashley here. I'm going to show you just my way of how to wrap your hands. It's going to be a pretty simple way. There's tons of ways you can find on the internet. This is just the way that I like to do it. Pretty easy, and it takes care of all the protection you need for your knuckles and your wrist. Alright guys, so all the wraps here at Title Boxing Club will say this side down. You want that on top of your wrist, so you're going to go on your thumb there, away from your thumb, right on top of your wrist. That's the first part. That's how we're going to always start. We're going to wrap this wrist about 3 to 4 times. Now, depending on where you want the protection will depend on eventually where you're going to put most of the fabric, either on your knuckles or on your wrist. I kind of split the difference. So about 3 times for me, and then I go in between each finger, starting with the pinky, under the palm, and then in between the 2 fingers, under the palm, in between your index finger there, under the palm, behind the thumb, around the wrist, and then we're going to come underneath that palm and wrap those knuckles. Okay, so all knuckles. I do mine about 6 times, and again, it'll depend on where you want the majority of the protection. I kind of split the difference, and the 6 is just a great number. I have probably middle-sized hands here, nothing big, nothing real small, so 6 works for me. If you have larger hands, you might need less. Smaller hands, you'll of course need more. And then it's all really about how much fabric we have left and where you want to put the protection. So from here, I'm going to figure 8. So I'll go around the wrist, behind the thumb, around the wrist, in front of the thumb. And then this is a weak hand for me, so I like to give a lot of wrist protection on this one so I don't sprang it. So I'll go again across the top at an angle there. And then I'm going to wrap that wrist nice and snug. I'll work my way up and then back down, all depending on how much fabric I have. As you see, the Velcro comes out on top. And we're good to go. And that's how we'll wrap our wrist. A lot of protection here on the knuckles, plenty of protection here in the wrist.